Hello, Actor Sage here on the Sage channel, and welcome back to more Singular Survival. Our battle plan for today is not exactly what I said it was going to be at the end of the previous episode. Nope, we're not just going to put the computer core in right away, because I was sort of thinking we'd stick it right here. But I've decided we might want it somewhere we could actually access maintenance and change the code around every now and again if we want to have more stuff and even have a proper computer room. So our plan right now is actually to go ahead and start putting in the pipes we need to actually get this thing up to the top where we want it. In fact, let's go ahead and actually put right here, we're going to put a small cargo container, believe it or not, just so we have somewhere we could access the cargo and everything from. So we'll put this right here. We'll need some interior plates for that. Oh, dearie me, oh my, I wish I had some on me. By the way, while I'm poking through all this, you'll probably notice that the sausage has been parked in a different spot behind me. It's right there, and there's suddenly a hole just sticking out there. I've rejigged that a little bit. Instead of it coming up and having a docking clamp, I added another connector right there, moved the small scout ship, what do we call it, the ugly duckling, and then went ahead and stuck this ship right here on a new plinth. And I of course have a large connector down there at the bottom, so I can, well, a large connector, a six-way conveyor, pardon. That way we could go ahead and, if need be, set it up so that anything can be sprouting out of that in any which direction. It also means we have clearance for our thruster there where we didn't before. Still need to move this pipe out farther, and then we'll put another thruster there, and I also put the thrusters basically in place so we have some atmospheric thrusters around the whole ship. That way we don't just depend on hydrogen. Don't think it'll be enough to lift us, but it'll be enough to actually, keep things working. Alrighty, now that we're up to this height, I think we can maybe go out to all four directions. Because I am quite the fan of symmetry, and I would like to be able to have this thing reach out to quite a bit. There we go. And what else do we need? Well, from here it comes to the actual planning stage, and this is where my brain kind of just goes fuzzy, where what I kind of want to do is just simply go ahead. Oh, my voice went all funky. Just simply go ahead and put a vent maybe leading up to pressurize everything. In fact, we could go ahead. Do we have any oxygen anywhere? We don't really have any oxygen storage. Hydrogen generators anywhere? No. Yeah, we got the hydrogen generators stuck in right here. But we don't actually have any oxygen. So we're going to go ahead and rejig my ideas again. Remove some of these. I think just two will do. We'll go with three. We'll have a surplus of oxygen. Put these here, and then we're going to put oxygen tanks sprouting out from all the sides of that. Then we'll have some growing up here to this connector, where we're actually going to go ahead and put the six-way connector right there before leading it up and back over into everything else. And I think we'll have it come like this and then pipe up. And the reason we're doing this, and that pipe just started falling there, that was very dangerous actually. The reason we're doing this is that I can have a oxygen container, or a vent right here. So we'll go ahead and grab our vent just to place it in, so we're planning it all out. There we go. So we'll have our vent there, and that'll lead up to the next floor, and we'll go ahead and use one of... Do we want to use this? Yeah, sure, we'll use these around here to cap it off. Of course, I'm going to have to come in here and weld it all, but our welding ship, the Flying Sausage, couldn't really get in here, so not really doing any harm by blocking it off right now, as long as I can still get to it by hand. There we go. I just wanted to make sure this is somewhat purty. There we go. And then we'll have these coming up and piping in like so. Cool. And this gives us the opportunity to have a flat floor right here. And I don't think we're going to use the interior... What's it? Yeah, this is 25 steel plates versus 25 interior plates and 10 construction components. Interior plates are heavier and larger magically, even though they don't really take up any more space. So we're just going to use standard light metal to build our floor. And this is going to be our main room floor that we've just put in. And then on top of this, right where I'm aiming right here, we're going to be putting in a... What do we call this thing here? It's a vertical window, as they call it. There we go. We're going to put one of these in right like that. And that way the air can flow into the room while still allowing us to walk across it, which should be pretty cool. We'll also have to rejig a gravity generator at some point, but I don't think we're going to be putting that in until we actually get into space, and we'll probably put it in the ceiling facing downwards. Cool. So there's our basic floor for everything. And our joints are going to be leading out to all the sides. Let's make sure we got all those in. That way everything will actually continue to function. And this will allow us to continue building out machinery, anything we need up here. Now, there is a small issue here with as we build up, and especially if we start to build out, we're going to be running into an issue. We're going to be blocking the solar panels. Now, once we're in space, we'll get going in whichever direction we want to go, and then just simply face the whole ship towards the sun as we keep drifting. This will allow the solar panels to, of course, keep getting more and more energy. The problem down here, though, is, as you can see, just from our battery works, we've already started to block this solar panel right here to where they're barely functioning at all. This one here, of course, is blocked by its own little support beam. Little unfortunate. We're going to have to, unfortunately, hope we don't run out of power. I think we'll be fine because most of these batteries are full up, and you can see this one, you know, they keep bouncing all the way up to full, so I think we'll be alright. But it's just something to keep in mind. If we run into power issues, we'll have to deal with it. Alrighty, when it comes to actually welding this up, I'm going to attempt to get the flying sausage over here, but I don't think we're going to be able to get most of it. Yeah, maybe from this angle. And I'm not going to show most of that, maybe I'll just show a little bit, just to show you what I'm talking about. Show. Bleh. See, this is what I was figuring we weren't going to be able to reach it because we're crammed in there. Oh, we were actually able to reach it. Cool. So yeah, I will be able to use the flying sausages to weld most of this up. Looks like we even got the cargo container down at the bottom, mostly finished. You also noticed I've welded up a lot of the batteries around here, so we don't have most of those unfinished anymore. Oh, we ran out of computers. That's really unfortunate. We're not going to be able to have any more of those for a bit, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to remove this corner here so we can try to weld up absolutely everything, but once we're up here, I'll put it back in. Alrighty, so we've gotten a fair bit done. As you can see, we have now... Oops, I'm facing the ground. Have now most of it... Oh, what am I saying? It's nowhere. It hasn't even progressed, has it? We ran out of constructor components, basically, and we actually don't even appear to have the iron to make more constructor components. And in fact, the reason why this pillar right here isn't done is because apparently we ran out of computers. I thought we ran out of power cells. Alright, well, I guess we're better off than I thought. But we are kind of out of materials to make more solar cells, that's for sure, 100% for sure. And I can actually show you guys by going to our production tab, where if I was to cancel those, we can say, hey, make us another solar cell. It's not making... Oh, well, you made me a liar again. Anyway, I thought we were out of those as well as power cells. Well, you're saying, well, we're out of iron, and now you're saying we're fine with these. Well, whatever. Either way, yeah, what the hell? I thought we were out of them. I thought I queued up 1 billion and you didn't make them all. But apparently you did. Wow. Anyway, it looks like the main resource we're out of right now is simply iron. To complete all this, we need the construction components. Let's do a little bit of planning before we go out on a big mining journey, because of course we don't necessarily want to... Yeah, what do we need for computers? What's stopping us from making a bunch of computers? Oh, some food just appeared right next to me. Thank you! Anyway, let's go ahead, fly down here, see if we can actually produce those computers. First and foremost, we'll cancel that because we actually don't need those right now. Computers, there you are, and... It's iron, once again. I could have sworn computers used to require gold. They probably haven't for like 100 years now. But yeah, it looks like iron is our #1 holdup for everything at this point. Let's just queue up some stuff. It'll burn through all of these, building them up once we get the iron. And then it'll go ahead, and I've gone through and filled them all up with 100 each. It'll actually get to work on these. And let's actually queue up to 2,000 of them, so we're going to have tons of it. And luckily, iron is nowhere far away. It should be right over here, I believe. In this pit, was it? Yes, indeed it is. This looks like nickel, actually. Is this nickel? I bet you this is actually nickel, isn't it? Yeah, I think I saw... Okay, could you just keep the name in front of me when I look at it, you son of a... Okay, yeah, it's nickel. It's there at the bottom left. You can see if I try to look directly at it. Oh, it actually stayed this time. Wonderful. And there is a cyber dog in here, so close our eyes. Okay, I heard the terrible sound. Where'd it go, anyway? Did it just disintegrate completely? Did I get the stuff in my inventory? I don't think so. Either way, I was actually hoping for the loot from it. That way it might be something useful. Okie dokie. Either way, I do believe we do have iron out here. Yes, indeed we do. So yeah, we can just bring our flight ship over here. We'll take this robo-hound out. I just gotta remind myself it's not a real hound. Oh my goodness, look at these power cells. Could you imagine if we just got a bunch of computers? Righty-ho. So we'll bring our mining ship out here and mine some of this. Also, there we go, I've just renamed all the cargo containers. And let's even rename that antenna to, let's pump that up, and then show ship name. Actually, let's not pump that up. We don't want to run out of power. Let's say show ship name, and that's the reason, by the way, I never use show ship name, is because then it goes Murphy the Miner antenna. How about you just let me name it Murphy the Miner and let it stay, let the block itself remain named antenna. Huh? I hate that. The Miner. Because I hate seeing antenna next to everything. Anyway, we're just going to leave the antenna at low distance because I don't think we're going to lose it for 1, and for 2, we're not far away, and for 3, I don't want to use the excess power. We're also going to check our cargo here, just to double and triple check everything's fine, cool. We're also going to go to our ejector. Actually, the ejector's not piped in, is it? We didn't replace everything with a bunch of those yet. We're going to go to our sorter. No, it's a connector. Yeah, connector, stone connector, cool. And you're going to be cool. You're not throwing anything out right now. Awesome, because we don't want it throwing stuff out while we're actually mining. Oh no, Scheiße. Well, I mean, the ship's named Murphy. We knew something was going to go wrong sooner or later. I was not paying attention really to the, bloody hell. The weight I was paying attention to. I thought we were supposed to be fine at this weight. It's just I wasn't paying attention to the up and down, and the ship ended up going to its side. And of course, once the ship goes to its side, it doesn't have so many good thrusters to keep it going, and we don't have enough gyroscope power to flip ourselves over now. Let's see, do we have any stone in our inventory yet? No, we don't have any stone in our... God dang it. God dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Shit. Okay, yeah, I even said shit instead of scheiße. Wow, I'm very irritated. Okay, let's just go ahead and think clearly. What do we need to do to get this right side up again? Well, honestly, we need to flip it. To do that, we need gyroscopes. So let's go ahead and think to ourselves for a millisecond here. What do we need to put gyroscopes in? Stuff. Where can we put them in? We can put them right on top of this, I believe. If we could get a small block just as proof of concept that I can place, yes. So we can put them everywhere here except for the very middle. In fact, we'll put them back here because it's space we're sure we'll probably never use for anything else. Gyroscopes, here we come. And something just hit me. To build gyroscopes, we are going to need computers, which means we have most definitely got to drop off a little bit of iron I just mined in here. Cool, go to production. Look, you're actually making computers. That is awesome. Thank you for your assistance. Let's go to main cargo 2, drop that off. Oh my god, look at our hydrogen. Oh, dearie me. I'm starting to panic here. Drop all this stuff off, cool. Go to computers, grab those, awesome, and then we're going to need some other stuff, which, yeah, okay, I'm going to grab it. There we go, job's done. I should say I also had to make some construction components because, well, we didn't have any of those for these either. Because, of course, that was our whole point of coming out here, is we needed iron for computers and construction components. Boy, oh boy, thank God we had some of that laying around, or I would have probably had to have manually taken apart something else. And we still can't seem to turn over? Oh, we're moving a little bit. I really don't want to have to do too much here. Come on. Look at that. I'm so close to being the right way up. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes! Oh, thank Christ we're hovering. Cool. And I can't actually remember our maximum weight for this ship, what it was. But I think we should be good, actually, to keep on mining. Yeah, and we're actually not moving too fast with those gyroscopes. I was afraid adding 3 more might cause issues. But it looks like we can keep mining, and we'll keep on mining until basically we start to fall to the ground, because we have 3 down thrusters now, and that probably won't be very long. Either way though, I'm going to grab a little bit more, and our maximum number of bots is exceeded. Brilliant. And there's robohounds on top of our ship. Legitimately, they were on top of our bloody ship. Okay, it's time to get airborne. We can't even get airborne. Okay, we're fine. We are fine. There we go. See? Leveled out. Now we're airborne. Cool. Boy, oh boy, it is dangerous to have those side thrusters be so bloody underpowered. Alrighty, and here we are back at base. Dropped everything off. There was a little incident on the way home where I went ahead and ended up telling the wrong thing to start throwing stuff out. As in... yeah, I started throwing out all my iron instead of the stone. But I got that sorted, and now we're back here without an issue. And can go ahead and tell all these refineries to, hey, get this bloody iron sorted, shall we? And looks like it's all going pretty well, honestly. Burning through it nice and quick, and soon enough we will have more than enough iron to get everything underway. Yay. And there you go, as you can see, these things are cooking stuff out. We got tons of construction components, all this good stuff. So now I'll actually be able to start getting things finished. We can, of course, go ahead and I'll also be upgrading all this to all our production modules and all that. So our assemblers will be kicking stuff out quicker. We can even go ahead and finish off these, even though that takes an absolute age to weld up that last little bit. Now there we go, I've actually gone ahead and welded all of these sons of guns up. So there, that's all of our battery supplies up and running. How awesome is that? All the power in the world, and it's all clean! Not like it actually matters in this game, whether you're using clean power or not. I don't know, I think that would actually be pretty cool if you could use oil or coal or other dirtier things. I'd particularly like it if it even dirtied the world. Exulandy, that could be, I don't know, that could be an awesome thing. There's another game I've been looking at that's going to have stuff like that, or is going to have the whole sort of, it's a small planetary game where everything you do on the planet actually affects the planet. Construction components. There we go. Also, there was just a few messages popping up in the top left there. I'm not even thinking, yeah, I don't think I'll blur those. Those were from Scott basically telling me that, hey, Zock's going to be streaming soon, because I seem to have forgotten once again, he streams on whatever bloody day it is. I think it's Tuesday? I'm not actually sure what day today is. Either way, though, Yarp, Dandy, I might join Zock in a little bit, but for the time being, I'm just going to keep working. You also might have seen he asked, how is my dog? My dog, about a month and a half ago, had some seizures. And we went to the doctor, emergency clinic and all that, spent a couple $1,000 or something like that. I don't know, it was an awful lot. My parents thankfully helped me out, because I don't have that kind of money. I'm actually, not too well off right now. Either way, though, the point is, my dog had some seizures. We went there, ran a bunch of tests. They found one little infection, but they don't think that would have caused it. And he is now fine, though. The thing is, he only had those seizures for the day. Each seizure lasted about 30 seconds. He had a grand total of 5 or 6 or 7. He had a lot of them, but they were all very short. And the dang doctor didn't really think it was anything too much to worry about. The emergency clinic doctor that we did go to for all the tests did think, he should be on medicine, but they're sort of the people who push for dogs to be medicated heavily anyway. So it's like, let's save my puppy's kidneys and liver and all that. And his teeth, because apparently he rots of teeth. If it's short little 30-second seizures, he should be alright. And if he's stopped having them after that 1.5 days, okay. Thing is, yesterday he did have 3 seizures. I'm pretty sure he had one in the night, because he came up to me with his mouth all like super saliva, which happens when a dog has seizures, or at least my dog does. And also, what is it? Just whining and crying for me. So I said, hey, what's up? Have you had something go wrong? I hope not. But it was middle of the night and I was exhausted. I wrote it down, that way I could keep track of it. And then the next day my folks call me Joseph. That's my full name. That's what they call me. Most people call me Sage. I still prefer that. But either way, they come calling me, your dog's having something wrong. And sure enough, he had, rather unfortunately, had a seizure again, and he had one more after that. So that's a grand total of 3 seizures yesterday, and as such, he has not had one, well, as such, we were a little bit worried, but he hasn't actually had one since yesterday, so it's got me thinking that, I guess everything is alright again. If he just has, 3-4 little seizures every now and again, and they're all under 30 seconds, which the one that he had yesterday was, even as terrible, the one that I saw. It was a third one later that happened later that day. I mean, I guess it's not really anything to worry about, according to the first doctor, as long as they're short and infrequent. So that's what we're going on right now. But that's what Scott was asking about in the top left corner. That was an absolutely madman's ramble as I was just shifting stuff into cargo containers. So let's go ahead, because we're not accomplishing anything so far this ep. Grab ourselves a bunch of steel plates, put some of those back because they're so stupid heavy, even though they, I don't know, I guess mass and weight are two completely separate things, so I don't know. Yeah. Okay, let's just stay calm. Volume is different on these two. I don't whatever. What is this per singular one? I know I did this before. Here I am doing it again. Yeah. What? These have more mass now? And these have more volume. Why is... whatever. I just hate that the volume on these is so much higher, because it shouldn't be, because they're about the same exact size. Why is the volume greater on these when they're the same size when you drop? Oh, anyway, well, before I start babbling for 3 hours, let's go up here and just start planning all of this out. So, we got our main room right here. I think what we're going to do is start doing something slightly more asymmetrical at this point. We're going to do a docking area right out here. So, I'm going to come out to right here, and we're going to set ourselves up with... do we want an actual enclosed room? I don't think we can handle an enclosed room for everything, but we could go ahead, set up something like this to allow ourselves to have entrance and exit right from here without any sort of issue, really. There we go. And this will also mean that when the sun comes up, the solar panel will be mostly exposed to the sunlight while we're on planets. There we go. And then from this, we're going to have this come out to right here. And then, is that enough? Yeah, that's enough. And then right here. Cool. And from here, we're going to go ahead and just have a bunch of connectors. That way we can dock all of our ships up here or down below, wherever we are. Won't really matter. In fact, in the future, we might end up taking apart all that stuff down below. Either way, this should allow us to be pretty good for docking our ships about. Cool. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and start planning out this way. I think this room shall be our computer room, which means if we're putting another room in here, we're going to need another set of O2 tank setups. O2 tank setups, oxygenation, basically. And to do that, we're going to bring the pipe down. A silly setup here. In fact, let's go ahead and, like I said, we're going to make this section of the ship asymmetrical, right? So let's go ahead and actually have our door... Where do we want it? Yeah, let's have our door right here. So this block is where our door will be. We'll have a double door for this as well. Yeah, a door will be right here and here. That way we can have double doors right there and there. Basically airlocking everything. And once that's done, we'll have a quick stairwell up. And then that'll be leading into... Yeah, quick stairwell up. We have to actually plan this out proper, don't we? If we're just looking at all, we're not going to make much progress. So yeah, quick stairwell up like this. We're using the diagonal window. Yeah, that'll get the job done really nice and easy, because what we can do with that then is have you come out to here, you go arching upward. Actually, let's put this in so it can keep on carrying if we need it to. We'll put our vent on top of this, dink, and then on top of that we'll have the actual ramp leading up, which we can't actually put in until we get some flooring in. Cool. Like so. There we go. So then this is going to be our computer room. So let's just get the flooring in for it. There we go. And there. I think that should be enough for room for, well, a room, right? So we can have our computers along the sides here. In fact, do we want to bring it out a little bit more? I think this will be fine for now. We're basically just doing the interior of it. Cool. And then we'll bring it out a little tiny bit more, and if we want, we can put windows on it or something like that. So we'll cap it off like so. Do we want to arch it out like that? I don't think so. We want it arched like, excuse me, this. Oh, God. Come on, flip the way I want. There. Cool. So we'll bring that down maybe a little bit. I think that should be alright. And if nothing else, we can always just arch this around. So it's going to be sort of like a big flying enclosed building up here on top, I think. Where everything down there was very exposed. There's going to be different sections here that are all enclosed and quite nice. Cool. From there, I think we're probably going to end up mimicking the same sort of bump up we did previously, just in case we find it more useful. I mean, it's a good way to get the vents to where we want to, and it's a good way to be having everything oxygenated. So we'll be having this like so, this once again like so, and then the proper floor. What do we want this to be? I think this will be just our... Yeah, let's do this as a medical room. So, we'll go ahead. Once more have 3 pylons coming out. In fact, you know what? I've just decided we're going to go ahead and have some symmetry, because complete and utter lack of symmetry. I know some people were probably just cheering like crazy that I was finally doing something non-symmetrical, but it honestly does bug me a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and have this side be another docking area like that. That way we can have even more ships. And I was just looking at it really quickly to make sure we had the same design schematic going to take place right here. And we'll paste that in. There was a little freeze there a second ago that I didn't even really mention, did I? Just sort of froze. I sat there, kept talking, and brought no attention to it. And now I have. Boy, oh boy. I do not know what my thought process was with all that. Anyway, we had 2 of those block, 2 of those block. Cool. So, dink, dink, doot, dink, dink, doot, and then all of our connectors on them like so. And I'm going to double back to the other side just to make sure all these are this sort of vertical alignment. So it's a rectangle looking vertically. And they are all like that. Cool. It's so funny that the build state models for these are still the old ones where the opening here is offset. So just, I find that interesting. Anyway, and then on this side we're going to have our medical area here, and we'll go ahead and make sure that's set up the same exact way as the computer room, basically. So now we're going to have everything we need all set up lickety-split like. And these vents, I haven't really been paying attention to how I've been putting them in there, which is a little unfortunate, but it shall have to do. Cool. And then once we have everything fully planned out, we can, of course, there was a horse, go back and make sure everything is actually, what is the wording I'm looking for here? Once everything's set up, we can go ahead and put walls around it all. Yeah, cool. Let's actually go ahead and do this right here, because I've decided I want this piece to be replaced with one of you, like so. Awesome. Cool. So what we'll do is weld this up. Now that we have our computer floor in here, we can actually go ahead and stick the computers in there and start setting up the Tim's stuff for the next episode. Yeah. We're not going to end this episode yet. I'm actually going to start welding some of this up before this episode ends. That way it feels like we've made some more progress. And hell, I haven't even gone ahead and finished this yet, have I? So from the stair, there are 4 blocks before the window. So from the stair, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a window. Nice and easy like. And it's a 3 wide room, which is a little bit different when it comes to, of course, medical bays, because there are 2x2 blocks. Something this game really needs is the ability to have things offset when it comes to symmetry mode. I hate the fact that this game has pretty much a complete and utter lack of symmetry mirroring when it comes to even numbered blocks. Even like these big assemblers, when you put them in, sometimes they're a bit finicky because, well, they're not mirroring correctly. It's really rather unfortunate. Okay, oh. Get all this stuff set up, that way we can just bring the welding ship up here, the Flying Sausage as it is named, and get all this stuff done lickety-split. This should be pretty simple, really. Since it's all just steel plates, we'll be able to arch the ship, or aim the ship, angle the ship, there we go, that's the wording I was looking for, down just a little tiny bit, and get it all done. Awesome. And then our center room here, I think what we're going to do with this, once we're done with all of that, is maybe have it go up to another floor above us, so it can be our main control cockpit floor. I think that's what we'll do, and it'll just be like a little living bubble at the top. Because really, what more do we need? We have all of our cargo down here at the bottom, all of our industrial machinery. We're going to have some oxygen storage right here, and I put these big 6-ways all the way up, that way we can have even more oxygen storage, or just stick in, what's the word I'm looking for here? The oxygen generators, for even more generators if we need them. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. I mean, 3 cargo containers might be a bit sparse, but we can always find a way to rig some more up. Let's go ahead and get to work on all this then, shall we? Once the floors are done and I can sort of feel it out, I can start figuring out how I want all these walls to go together. I lied. I just figured it out while sitting here looking at it. I want it like this. And then you like so. And then you like so. Cool. And then we'll be replacing this one farther down here with just a standard slant like that. Cool. So that's how all this will go. In fact, you know, I just realized we forgot to do. We nearly got all the way done with this without actually putting in our medical bay. And I think we're going to go ahead and put it right about... Ooh, there's no really good way to place this damn block. I can never figure out a way I'm happy with. I think maybe right here shall do. It still blocks some of it. There's just never any good way to put this damn thing in an odd-numbered room. So damn annoying. Anyway, we can go ahead and put that in there, and then its connection point should be right here, which actually broke it free. I hate that so much. Even though this piece here clearly looks like it's supposed to touch the ground, it doesn't act as a connecting block to anything. It's only the piece with the actual connector on it that acts as, you know, a block allowing it to hold tight. And I do know my power is short, so nobody panic there. I'm not going to fall out of the sky, I don't think. Put you not like so, but like so. There we are. To there, and to... let's not forget our plan of making sure we can continue building on if need be. There we go. So we do have a little bit of gap down here, but hey, it's like a little catwalk. Pretty cool. Alrighty, I am going to, as I said before, go ahead and weld everything up, and we'll see how that looks then. Oh, what the flying funk. I was supposed to be cutting ahead till success, not out of iron. What is... really? I burned through all of the iron already? Seriously? There's 38,000 right there! 38,000 ingots! What's going on here, brother? 1,000 there, 12,000 there. Okay, what the assembler? Why are you not pulling iron into you? What is happening here? You're not full up. Okay, production. We're going to cancel that. We're going to go to all of our assemblers. Yeah. There's no reason on earth why you shouldn't be pulling iron into everything. Why aren't you building it? Why the hell is everything frozen here? Okay, well, first and foremost, we're going to cancel that. We're going to queue up 1. You're not pulling anything. What the hell is wrong with this system? This is impossibly stressful. Okay, listen. You have more than enough space, therefore I order you to not be a sack of fucking shit. Look, I just gave you some. Look, you have iron now. Look, we have 5 of those. Make another one. There we go. You're actually using it. So why aren't you pulling it naturally? Are you now going to pull it naturally? You're the king one even. If the king got jammed up, maybe I thought it won't be pulling stuff. But it's... What the hell? There. Now pull another one and make 10. Pull another, make 10. Pull a worthless sack of shit. I hate you. Me. Everything owned by me. Yes, share with all, because I don't know if you still need to do that or not, but... What the funk? Alright, I've gone ahead, cleared everything. I've even gone into the inventory of all the assemblers and gotten everything out of their actual production. Look at this, there's still room for them to make more too, so they shouldn't be full up there either. Okay, we'll go back to the king one. We're going to queue up a couple thousand of these. Or 1,000, or someone told me I can do Control Shift and it would, was it Alt Shift? No, that just brought my camera back up. Control Shift, Shift Control. So someone told me I could do something and it would add like 1,000 at a time. I'm not seeing it. Either way, we've added a bunch, and all these others have successfully made none of them. What the flying funk? Are you telling me assemblers have gone stupid and can no longer pull iron into their system? What a worthless system. What an absolutely atrocious system. I mean, look at this. Even here, you can see cooperative mode's on, use conveyor system is on. Either way, though, I've gone ahead and manually loaded them up with like 2,000 each. Back to... I'm not going to be trapped down here. I am not going to be trapped. Are you... This is my life now. This is my life. I'm... Thanks so much for watching. I'm done. Next episode, I'll have most of this welded up, and then I'll do a big time-lapse or something of us getting more stuff done. For now, though, I'm stuck down here in a tiny, stupid hole that I apparently can't get out of. How I got in here and I can't get out is beyond me. God almighty. Thanks a bunch for watching, and I shall see you guys and gals next time for a more productive episode. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna have to grind my way out. This is so stupid. Bye!